This sea lion was once a taxi driver, but he got involved in a missing person case. He simply picked up a high school girl late at night, but after she got out of the car, she disappeared. The police searched for a long time but found no clues. However, Odakawa's neighbor noticed something strange. Since that day, Odakawa, who lived alone, often heard voices coming from his house. Odakawa kept hearing someone ask, "Are you happy? Or you can leave whenever you want." Odakawa replied, saying he hadn't locked her up or tied her. She chose to stay. Odakawa fell silent, not remembering when she had come to his house. He vaguely remembered it was because he was hungry. Odakawa stared at the door, then realized he should go to the hospital. Odakawa had a serious mental illness. Normally, he couldn't fall asleep and needed medication to sleep, but recently, he told the doctor that he could now fall asleep just by listening to the sound of rain. He had almost memorized Ifute Itanpu's stories. Hearing this, the nurse took out an eraser, which was a model of Ifute Itanpu, and said it was the only one in the world, a very rare eraser figurine. However, the nurse didn't like the stories and gave the eraser to Odakawa instead. After leaving, Odakawa began his work. On his way to pick up passengers, Odakawa was stopped by the police for a search. At first, Odakawa thought they were searching for the missing girl, but it turned out they were looking for information about a fugitive baboon who had escaped with a gun. They asked Odakawa if he had seen him and jokingly mentioned that this man had a close relationship with Odakawa. Odakawa and the two officers had grown up in the same orphanage, so they spoke without hesitation. Odakawa remembered that Officer Daimon Aniki had a good relationship with the baboon. He asked them about it, which made the officers nervous. They told Odakawa to leave quickly. Odakawa didn't think much of it and continued working. The next day, Daimon Aniki found Odakawa. He had received information that Odakawa was involved with the missing girl. The last car she was seen in was Odakawa's. Daimon Aniki had deliberately come to investigate. Odakawa had no choice but to cooperate. Daimon Aniki took the memory card from Odakawa's dashcam, hoping to find clues about the girl, but before leaving, Daimon Aniki said something strange. He mentioned that he was taking the card, even if it was an official seizure. If there was any progress, he would ask Odakawa to cooperate with the investigation. However, Daimon Aniki told Odakawa not to contact the police. Odakawa asked what would happen if he did, and Daimon Aniki seemed uncertain, mentioning that a fugitive with a gun might come to kill him. Odakawa stood still in silence. Daimon Aniki's behavior didn't seem like that of a police officer, it felt more like that of a guilty criminal. But Odakawa didn't want to cause trouble, so he did nothing and continued driving his taxi, just like usual. What Odakawa didn't know was that night, Daimon Aniki secretly handed the memory card over to the baboon. The next day, trouble came looking for Odakawa. The baboon showed up at Odakawa's taxi, holding a gun to Odakawa's head, and threatened him to drive. As they drove, the baboon explained his reason for seeking Odakawa. He was investigating the missing high school girl, and Daimon Aniki had taken the memory card to help him. The card was now in the baboon's possession. Today, the baboon wanted Odakawa to keep quiet. Not just the police, but anyone who asked for the memory card had to report it to the baboon. Odakawa didn't agree or disagree, but quietly pressed the emergency alarm button. He didn't understand why the disappearance of a high school girl caused such a big impact. To buy time, Odakawa asked the baboon the real reason behind the search for the girl. If the baboon didn't answer, Odakawa wouldn't help. Even if the baboon threatened him with death, he didn't care. Reluctantly, the baboon explained that his boss and the father of the missing girl were old friends. Ifute Itanpu, a famous storyteller, had spent a lot of money searching for his daughter. The baboon had to complete this task. This was only the first part. He also planned to frame Ifute Itanpu's subordinate, the hedgehog, for the incident.